Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is EarthBound for the Super NES. We're heading to Onett to get a piece of that meteorite so Dr. Andonuts could have his Zexonyte. However, since the last time, I made a few adjustments to my equipment. I went ahead and I gave the Night Pendant back to Ness, and I gave Paula the Sea Pendant since she could do with the extra defense that it provides, as well as flame protection for an enemy later on in the game. I also gave her the Goddess Band, and with her Saturn Ribbon, that makes it to where she has pretty much the highest defense of any of the other characters, and she's really going to need it. And in second place, as far as defense is concerned, I powered up Jeff. I gave him the Cherub's Band and the Souvenir Coin. I left the Flame Pendant on him, so he's pretty much the second most bulked up as far as defense goes. Paula and Jeff are really going to need the extra defense stat, since Ness himself, if you look at his hit points after that huge stat boost, he's really not going to need all that much defense. He's still doing pretty good. He's better than what Pooh is with his limited equipping capabilities, but he's not really going to need that high of a defense stat since he's pretty much a tank as far as HP goes, and he has that large amount of psychic points as well. Ness with that stat boost is going to be carrying the rest of the team through pretty much the rest of the game. Alright, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and warp to Onett. Also, I went ahead and I put the Franklin badge on Paula since, well, might as well. We are going to run into a few enemies later on that can cast thunder attacks, and she's going to need it the most. Alright, well, first things first. On our way to the meteorite, we want to make sure Mom is okay. And we are going to run into some really powerful enemies as you look around. It is quite dark around here. Aliens have invaded Onett. I guess they've predicted, just like Dr. Andonuts has, that the meteor is important, so they're going after that. And it looks like we're going to run into two enemies here. Alright, we have the Evil Eye and the Mechanical Octobot. The Mechanical Octobot isn't too much of a hassle. It can steal items like any other Octobot counterpart before it. The Evil Eye is what we really need to look out for. It's weak against ice, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it out as fast as we can with our most powerful freeze attacks. Yeah, we're going all out against this guy because he can diamondize you, and it's actually very annoying. So we want to deal with this guy very, very quickly. In any battle, we want to take him out first. He can also paralyze you, but that's actually not too big of a deal. We can still use PSI attacks. Here we go. Alright, outstanding. Okay, so I'm going to start working on getting rid of paralysis. Going to go ahead and use Healing Gamma. We'll go ahead and do that with Ness. And Paula can still use PSI. So I think these guys are weak against fire. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to go ahead and try that. Looks like Jeff can't do anything, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use Healing Gamma on Jeff in order to get rid of that numbness. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's doing pretty well. Alright, outstanding. Now we can stick to physical attacks. And, yeah, I'm just going to have Paula do nothing. Actually, you know what? I've gone through this entire game without talking about the Prey ability for Paula, which is actually going to come into play very soon, actually. It's going to be very, very important. But Prey pretty much does all sorts of random things, both positive and negative. Alright, go ahead and use the Heavy Bazooka. And, yeah, we'll have Pooh do nothing, whatever, because this guy isn't too tough. There we go. Alright, Warm Lights around Ness, and it maxes out, well, it gives a huge HP gain to everybody. So, yeah, there you go. The Prey ability can do all sorts of random things. Like I said, both positive and negative. There's times where it can even, you know, cause negative status effects to your entire party. So, use it sparingly. We are going to have to use it, you know, towards the end of the game. It's actually required, but it's not going to have the same random effects that it does during any normal battle, and that's one of the reasons that you didn't see me using it on a regular basis throughout the game, is because it is so random that it stands a really high chance of causing some negative things to happen to your party. Alright, just another mechanical Octobot. Pretty easy to deal with. We're going to head right into Ness's house. And looks like everybody's all shut up in their house. If you go up to the other buildings in Onett, everything is locked. People have barricaded themselves inside, so you're not going to get into any buildings. I believe this is the only one that you can get into. And if we come and talk to Ness's mom, she tells us just that everybody's barricaded themselves. And she's scared, and everybody's hiding in the dark, but she will offer us some steak in order to refill our HP and psychic points. And there's King right there. There's a phone right there if you want to use it to save. And upstairs, Tracy's in her room, and she can actually store and give you items that you have in Escargo Express. So pretty much the same function. And here we got a new enemy, the Ghost of Starman. He can cast Starstorm Alpha, and another thing that he does is each turn he counts down from 3, and after he counts down to 1, he performs Starstorm Omega. We need to take this guy out as fast as we can, and in order to protect us from Starstorm, we want to put up either PSI Shield Sigma or PSI Shield Omega. We're going to go ahead and go with Sigma right now, since it's just the Starman, it's just the Ghost of Starman and a mechanical Octobot, so we're not going to really need to reflect that attack back at him to do max damage. There are tougher enemies. If you run into the Ghost of Starman along with an Evil Eye, it's probably a good idea to use a Psychic Shield Omega in order to reflect the attack back and take out the enemies as fast as you can, because that is actually a pretty hard group to contend with. Oh, okay, we already got our Psychic Shield up. And luckily, Paula got off that attack pretty fast. There are times where the Ghost of Starman will actually get off the Starstorm Alpha before Paula has a chance to put up her Psychic Shield. That's where I kind of made a mistake. I got rid of the Rabbit's Foot, which actually could have been put on her to increase her speed, ensuring that she gets that first turn. You know what? I should probably heal Paula. She's actually in some pretty bad shape. I'll go ahead and have Pooh handle that. There we go. And that's pretty much all of the enemies that we'll be encountering as far as new enemies in this area. You know what? Let's take care of him. It's also worth mentioning that the Ghost of Starman actually has a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a Goddess Ribbon, which is a good defense boosting item for Paula, so go ahead and try to get that if you want to. I'm not going to go after it. Besides, this isn't the only opportunity. We will run into Ghost of Starman a little later in the game. Incidentally, there isn't much of the game left. We really don't have very far to go before the end. Alright, looks like the path is cleared of enemies, so we got a straight shot to the meteorite. There's something shiny that you can reach. Do you want to try and get it? Hell yeah, I do. And we got a meteorite piece. Alright, so with meteorite piece in hand, let's head back to Saturn Valley. Alright, here we are back in Saturn Valley. Now, off camera, I went ahead and made a few more adjustments. I called Escargo Express, and I got rid of Jeff's Hungry HP Sucker Neutralizer and Shield Killer, since we're really not going to need those in the next area. And I also picked him up a Night Pendant, because he's going to need some flash protection, a little later. However, for right now, I kept the Flame Pendant on him because he might end up needing that before we get to the point where we need Flash. And I also, I swung by Summers, and I put 2 super plush teddy bears in each of the characters' inventories here. And I also went ahead and I sold off any type of item except for items that restore life to a fallen ally, and the magic truffles. I hold on to all of those. So any other thing like a bag of Dragonite or any other food type item, I got rid of it. I sold it off. I also went ahead and I swung by Deep Darkness, and I filled up the rest of Jeff's inventory spaces with multi-bottle rockets. He's going to need plenty of those. And for everybody else, I swung by Dalam, and I filled all of their empty inventory spaces with brain food lunches. It's also a good idea to go ahead and have at least one type of life-restoring item, either a Horn of Life or a Cup of Life noodles, at least one in each character's inventory. So after you have all of that set and you're ready to go, we have a meteorite piece in hand, so let's hand it over to Dr. Andonuts. If I only had a piece of a meteorite, I might be able to extract some Zexonyte. Alright, so let's go ahead and hand that over to him. That'll actually empty up one of Ness's spaces in his inventory, which is going to come in a little handy later on. Ah, yes. This is fantastic. What? Well, I've never actually seen this incredibly rare element before. It is very intriguing. Alright, leave everything to us, and you get some rest. This is getting most fascinating. Alright, let's go ahead and head over to the inn here. And they should be ready to go as soon as we're done resting. Now, this is very important. Use the save point in here. We will end up with another save point later on, but you do not want to use it. Use a save now, because if you don't, and you use the save later on, then you're going to be stuck in the next area. We're heading to the final area of the game, and it is the point of no return. Once we crawl into the Phase Distorter, that is it. So save now if you want to go back and do anything. Alright, let's go over here and talk to Dr. Andonuts. Finally, it's complete. The Phase Distorter, version 2. Is equipped with 2 new features. First, it can repair your biological functions. That means it can heal you. Second, it can save your progress. Don't use that function. Don't be afraid. Get right in. There's just one thing, though. You might not be able to return, so make sure you are optimally outfitted. Are you ready to go? Hit yes. Even if you are not 100% perfectly completely ready, well, you should be prepared as possible. It would be for the best. Without careful preparation, you would be in big trouble. I just want to make sure you're ready. Let me know when your preparations are complete. Alright, last chance. If there's anything at all in the world you want to do, if you want to go back to like Lumen Hall and try to get that broken antenna for Jeff's best weapon, if you want to go and get any of those 1 in 128 item drops, with the exception of the Sword of King, since we're asked out of getting that if you haven't gotten it already. Anything at all, talk to NPCs, whatever, do it now, and then save here before talking to Dr. Andonuts and getting into the Phase Distorter, because it is the point of no return. Once you're ready, come here and talk to the doc. Good, at last. Okay, and he repeats some of the same thing. Alright, good. Alright, let's crawl into the Phase Distorter. Point of no return. Let's go. And this area should look familiar. Like Applekid said, the Phase Distorter was detecting enemy signs in the Lost Underworld. And if you remember, this area was kind of in the Lost Underworld. We went into that cave. Greetings. So, you are finally here. Excellent. You are truly excellent. There's only a little time left. I'll give you the last power. I must go now. My planet needs me. And Pooh learns Starstorm Omega, which we might or might not use. Oh, look, it's a Mr. Saturn. Yeah, he must have been the Mr. Saturn that was kidnapped by the pig boy. It was obviously Pokey. Yep, okay. Oh, he went to the past, huh? Alright, well, if we check the broken Phase Distorter 1, we get a Horn of Life. And yeah, that's the cave that we came in through when we were in the Lost Underworld, so that's why it was detecting enemy signs there. And looks like there's nothing else we can do here, but once we go over to that cliff and head back, another Phase Distorter appears. The Phase Distorter has been completed. We could finish it quickly because of Mr. Saturn's incredible scientific skill. Gyges is attacking from our exact location, but he's attacking from many years in the past. This is very hard for me to tell you, but... Alright, he's just going to say the same thing until you talk to Apple Kid. You must warp to the past and fight, but... And let's talk to Dr. Ananas again. This is very hard for me to tell you, but... In order to defeat Gyges, who is attacking from the past, you must warp to the past. This can be done by way of the Phase Distorter 3. However, the machine cannot warp living things, I mean life forms. Life is demolished in the process of warping. The only way to accomplish the time travel is to transfer your brain program into a robot and send the robot into the past. The transfer means that your spirit will go with the robot while your body is left behind. I cannot promise that your spirit will come back after the battle in the past, yet you must understand that the 4 of you are the chosen ones. Do you still wish to face Gyges by traveling to the past? It's a kind of a but thou must situation. We have to pick yes. You accept this while knowing that you may not be able to return to your current form, right? Yes, I see. You have really set your mind on this. Let me take a good look at you now. Ness, please give me that red cap. Ready? Stand by. And I guess we undergo surgery with a very painful sounding sound effect. I guess I'm imagining he's sawing the tops of our skulls off and sticking our brains into robot bodies. I don't know why they're doing this. It seems kind of like the way the time machines work in Terminator, where they can't... well, no, actually they could, because Kyle Reese went back. I don't know why they do this. Like, they felt the need to make you robots for the last portion of the game. I've heard different stories. I heard that, well, you'll see. I'll explain it in a few seconds once you actually see it, even though it still doesn't make any sense to me. Ness, Paula, Pooh, Jeff, my son. There is no turning back now. Ness, activate the Phase Distorter 3 by your own hand, thereby following your own destiny. Will you do so? Only a few people know of your amazing courage, but the number of people you saved through the bravery is immense. I feel very fortunate to be present at the beginning of this monumental undertaking. And we get sent back to the past. Alright, and we step out, and we are now robots for some reason. Ness has a red cap on, obviously to distinguish him from the rest of the group. Now, one of the reasons that I heard that they did this is because this entire area is gray. It's all grayscale. And I heard that the reason they made you robots is because your characters, like Ness, Paula, Jeff, and Pooh's character sprites, mess with the color palette. I don't know. I want to raise the BS flag on that. Personally, it seems just really redundant and pointless to make your characters robots at this point in the game. Anyway, welcome to the Cave in the Past, the final area of the game. We've gone through the Phase Distorter. There is no way of going back at this point. It has a few commands. If we get hurt, we can come back to it, and we can use the repair function to fully restore our hit points and psychic points. And of course, it also has the communicate option, which puts us in touch with Dad, and he can save our game. However, if you do that, you will be stuck here. You won't even be able to reset the game in order to revert back and go and explore the rest of the world. So that's why I said save in Saturn Valley before stepping into the Phase Distorter, or you will be stuck here. Alright, with that said, let's head to the Cave of the Past, find Gyges, and save the world. But that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.